Transport for London has announced that it's handed out almost £18 million worth of Ulez scrappage grants to about 5,000 Londoners, either private motorists or small businesses like the one behind me.
We're really pleased to be able to say that we've committed nearly £18 million to nearly 5,000 applicants to the scrappage scheme. So that's supporting people on low incomes, disabled Londoners, charities and small businesses like Inside Out Events who have got used the scrappage scheme to get a new van, help clean up London's air and help their business continue to thrive. There's been around 14,000 applications, and what we see with the applications is that sometimes people will not provide the right evidence for something the first time around, and we'll write back to them and explain what's needed, and then they'll be able to apply again. So within that 14,000, we're probably seeing some of that kind of working its way through. Some of them are still live in the system, and then as we kind of work through the processes, we'll see them coming through.
Inside Out Events, a catering firm in Cockfosters in Enfield, was one of the lucky ones. It received £5,000 and was able to scrap an old van and buy this newer model behind me.
We're currently paying the Ulez daily rate because our previous vehicle was non-compliant. So inside the North and South Circular currently, obviously there's a Ulez charge. So we needed to work out what we was going to do as a business to avoid those charges, because we was either charging clients a higher delivery fee to cover those costs or having to swallow it as a business. So where the Ulez scrappage scheme was announced, we just thought it'd be a good time to replace our old van, get that off the road and do our bit to help the environment essentially, and get the extra support, because the £5,000 is a chunk of money for a small business like ourselves. So that enabled us to do what we needed to do to get the newer van that was Ulez compliant earlier than later.
We have seen really good uptake from vans, which is really positive. I think, we saw from, again, the previous £61 million scrappage scheme that was very popular with van drivers, and we eventually had to close that van scheme, so there's a bit of pent-up demand from van drivers who will want to apply for this scheme. And we know that the compliance of vans lags slightly behind cars as well, so I think it's really positive to see that high uptake from vans, and we'll now be working, we're advertising the scheme, we're going to make sure that people are aware of it, and one of the messages we really want to get across today is that although the majority of people aren't going to need to take action ahead of the 29th of August, so 9 out of 10 cars driving in out to London are already compliant. If you are in that minority that isn't, please do check the website, find out if you're eligible. There'll be people who don't know that they're eligible, and we just want to make sure that they are aware of that and can take advantage of the support on offer.
Now, Transport for London offers £2,000 to scrap a car and £5,000 to scrap a van, and they do have to be destroyed. You can't simply sell them to somebody outside London, whether it's in Yorkshire or Scotland. What's also emerged is that 14,000 people have actually applied for this money, but only about 5,000 have actually received the cheque, all the money in their bank account so far. Others may have to wait longer or may have to reapply. Some applications may be rejected. What's likely now is that of the £110 million, about 30,000 applications are likely to succeed before the pot of cash runs out.